Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and of course, welcome back to another episode of Blitz Village. And today we, of course, begin a brand new build, but before we get to that, we've got a couple of announcements. So first off, let's talk about a couple of people who submitted images to the Blitz Village, of course, and that is, you can do that by going to my Twitter page and then just sending me an image. So it's basically at twitter.com/Blitzwinger. So without further ado, let's talk about, first of all, Connor Peters, who sent a very cool little Blitz spell out. So cool, nicely done there, dude. And next up is JT, or I think at least that was his name, but then his Twitter handle is Jose ATGJT, and he sent in basically a tower, which he built a tower that reaches all the way to the sky limit, which I found to be pretty gosh darn crazy. I mean, imagine how long that would take, and nicely done there as well. Now, without further ado, let's of course get to today's build. Today's build is gonna be, drum roll please, we can't really afford a drum roll, but nonetheless, of course, today's build is gonna be a library, and this was suggested by a couple names. So as you know, of course, you could always leave your suggestions in the comment section below. I take them all into consideration. These were just some that I picked out. We've got Abdullah A.L. Najar, I believe is the name, Jackley Ruth, Sarah Haney Morris, and Michael Thays, which I believe has already submitted a quest before. It's just that his comments for some reason get a lot of thumbs up. So that's basically why I chose him, I guess, again, just because he was up there. And yeah, so again, don't forget, you could always leave your suggestions in the comment section below, and if you get chosen, you get a nice little shout out, which is pretty cool. But before we get to that, I wanted to give you guys an update on the Batcave, which is of course down here. And by the way, it seems like most people were pretty gosh darn okay with me building up a wall. They actually wanted it to happen. So what we're going to do is probably 4 or 5 episodes from now, we're going to begin to do the wall, and I'll tell you when, and then you guys will get to submit questions and stuff like that, and I'll be answering questions for about half an hour or something like that. So without further ado, let's get it rolling. Back into the Batcave we go. So of course, our secret little entrance through here. I kept the blocks off now this time, but of course, as you know, we've got that stuff locked up like this with a secret little entrance, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna drop on down, make our way quite down to the bottom of the sea, except not really, that's a SpongeBob song. And as you can see, whoa, what the heck? How did you get in here, buddy? Looks like I need to take care of you, don't I? Okay, let me grab an iron sword. What the heck are you doing here, dude? Get out of here. There we go. Alrighty, so as you can see, I've been working. Oh, he probably snuck in through here, didn't he? Because this leads to a cave, which is no good. Let me just... Whoa, there's a creeper there. Okay, that is really not good. Okay, so I'm just going to cover that up for now. And just a sec. I don't know why my audio is completely off. Do you guys have any sound, or did I completely... Sound is 25%. Weird. I don't know what that means, but nonetheless, of course, you could see this kind of a structure in the middle here. You might be wondering, what the heck is that, Blitzwinger? Well, basically what I did is I just built up a nice little kind of wall here, and then you get to climb this thing. And once you get up here, you've got what I wanted to basically do is kind of like a computer system, you know what I mean? So basically, these are kind of acting like monitors, you know what I mean? So we've got like, I pretend like this is Black Mask from Batman, and then, I don't know, this could be Solomon Grundy or something like that. This is just some sort of new creature. There's some sort of a weird minions going on. So just kind of a thing. And then these act as kind of keyboards here so that they could kind of function, but they are really, of course, whoops. They are really, of course, what are they called? Goodness gracious. Sunlight detectors, or daylight detectors, I should say. Whoops, looks like I dropped one of the paintings, which is no good. So, let's reestablish that, shall we? Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, can I get a painting over here? Thank you. Whoops. There we go. That's okay. Actually, that's the same painting. That doesn't work. That doesn't work either. That doesn't work. I want the creeper image. Give me the creeper image. They don't want it. Whoa, okay, that would be a weird one for Batman to be looking at. There we go. Okay, so that's a tiny little update here. So basically kind of a computer lab type thing. And I was thinking maybe I'll put a door here so that it's kind of even harder to get inside. Now, right over here, I started to do some work as well. You're just going to walk down the steps. And then it's going to lead you to just kind of a... Well, actually, first I should probably get some torches so you guys could actually see things, because that would be handy, Blitzwinger. So people could actually see your plans instead of just listening to them. Okay, so the idea here is that basically we're going to fill up this place with with bats. And the way that I cleared out most of this area is actually with dynamite. So I just threw a piece of dynamite, light it up with some flint and steel, and then just wait to see how the explosion unfolds. But the idea here is that I want to kind of set up a big open space and have kind of, you know, that little coin from Batman that he has, and then maybe try to build out of bricks just piece by piece, like a Batmobile or something like that, which would be pretty cool as well. So yeah, just still a lot of work to do, but as you can see, I'm working at it bit by bit, and eventually we'll have it done, because that's how you do things, kids. Once you work at things for long enough, you get things rolling the way you want. Alrighty, so for now though, I guess we could head on out. Where's my lever? What? Okay. Come on. Okay, this is bizarre. I don't understand why I don't have any sound. Huh. I hope you guys will have sound. I really do apologize about that. Because if not, that's a technical error, and I'm not really certain as to why that exactly is happening. So I'm going to go ahead and lock up, just in case. You see that? Bam! Now you don't even know that it's there, do ya? And just going to place this here, and that there. There we go. Alrighty, so now we can make our way out to the outside, and walk on up here. So now we got to decide where we're going to plant this library. So let's think. We got a weapons shop, a police department, a bank, a hotel. I think maybe somewhere over here, kind of so that we could share it with this village so that they could come and enjoy the library as well, right? We don't want to be, mean or anything like that. We want to have everybody come on over to the library and enjoy it and stuff like that. And the main reason why I picked the library was that I thought it was kind of a cool idea, actually, just because, I mean, you have access to books in the game, right? So I was like, you know what, why not do a library? That would be a pretty cool idea. At first I was going to do the supermarket right away now, but considering we just did the weapons shop, whoa, okay. That would be a really bad idea if the if the library caved into there. But the idea was that I was like, you know what, it would be kind of silly of me to do another store, considering we just finished the shop. So don't worry, the supermarket is coming. So for those of you that commented that, first of all, you could keep commenting, because you could get chosen from this episode, so you'll get a shout out from here. But also, the other thing is that don't worry, it's still coming. I definitely want to do it. I have an idea, I have a design in mind, even how I want it to look and stuff, which I usually don't. Whoa, don't. I don't even know what I just said there. That is pretty bizarre. Look at that. I could just bring down all this sand. All this sand is going down. So, I'm thinking now, which I don't do very often, obviously, as a lot of people may say. I'm joking. I do think sometimes. Not very often, but still. Okay, so I think this will be pretty good. Now, I think for a library, to keep things kind of classy, I guess we should choose some sort of a wood, I guess, or something, right? Wood floors, and then I actually want to use the red wool to create kind of like carpets. That would be a good idea, I think, right? Kind of like red carpets and stuff. I think that would be pretty good. So, for now, let's go ahead and choose some wood that we could use. I don't even know which kind of wood I want to use. It's kind of hard to decide now. That's the tricky part. That's definitely the tricky part. Goodness gracious. Do we really only have, like, the slabs of wood like that? That's not good. That's no bueno. I am having a hard time deciding now. What should we do? Jungle wood. I guess we could just go with some oak wood planks. That would be a good idea, right? So we're going to use our oak wood planks. And we will... I don't even know. Should I bring the layer down again? It's kind of hard to sometimes decide just how far you should bring things. I think this will be fine, because we'll just build up the wall, right? So we will lay the foundation here and just get that going, shall we? Okay, careful. One piece at a time, and we'll get it all done. And it's going to look mighty fine, and everybody's going to be very happy. Except that did not really rhyme. Okay, time set a 0. Because I saw the sun was coming down, and I was like, no, sun, you will not come down on me. And, yeah. Okay, so, whoops-a-daisy. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to need to still chop down, what the heck am I talking about? Chop down some sand? What kind of sand are you dealing with, Blitzwinger? I know, that's what you probably guys are asking. Okay, so, let's see. I think do we want to make it, I think 2 floors, you got to make it at least 2 floors, right? I mean, practically any library you will ever see is typically at least 2 floors, right? Let me know how your local library operates. Mine, I think, I haven't been there in a little while. It's kind of weird, like, people don't really go to libraries anymore, do they? Now that I think about it. That's kind of a weird little thing that probably is going to end up disappearing just over time as we continue to evolve to a more digital like period and age. We will probably most likely just kind of, all of us will be using almost a Kindle-like textbooks, and you'll probably just buy, like, licenses to use textbooks and things like that in schools. So I think libraries are probably going to slowly but surely go away, which is kind of weird, especially if you were a person who grew up with libraries. Because I do remember, like, when I was younger, libraries were pretty prominent in my life, like, in terms of just, that was the place where you would go to get a new book every time, and that's where you would find stuff to read, and a lot of times you just hang out with people there, so it's kind of weird to think that that is going to be gone. Do you guys agree with me? Do you think it's going to be gone, or do you feel like libraries is one of those things that people are always going to be reading books, and no matter what, there's going to be still some form of libraries around and things like that? But you got to think about places like Borders and Chapters. Those shops are really like they're struggling in terms of business-wise, so they're really going away slowly but surely. So I would imagine that libraries aren't seeing the kind of visitation that they used to. And I mean, you could say, well, libraries aren't a business, so they don't need to be run with a profit in mind. And I agree with that. But at the same time, you got to think about expenses. And if if there's like only 10 people attending or whatever, let's say 20 years or 30 years, only 10 or 15 people are attending, or whatever, under 100 people are attending, I'm sure they're going to start considering to just shut down the whole place, just because it's probably not, it doesn't make any sense from a cost point. So that'll be interesting to see if that will ever actually occur. So I think this looks like a pretty good kind of groundwork, right? A foundation. Maybe just one more like that. And of course, don't worry, this is not going to be the walls. We're going to actually make a different style of walls on the outside. This is just going to be the floor. So that's kind of the floor, and then over around it is going to be some walls. I'm just not going to focus on those right now. So let's go ahead and make some, I guess, steps we should do. Let me see. How should we do this? Well, consider there's going to be one more layer of wall. I guess we should keep that in mind. And, well, actually, the wall is not going to go here, would it? So that doesn't really matter to us. Okay, so we're going to set that up, and that's not our steps yet. We still need to pull up some steps, or out, I should say. And let's see, which kind do we want to go with? I guess we could go with some oak wood, or maybe birch wood. I kind of think birch wood will look really cool for walls, actually. I'm kind of interested to see what that will actually look like. And by the way, guys, if you're interested, I just recently I'm going to be starting up some actual, some more, what are they called? Goodness gracious, why am I blanking now? Let's see what the walls look like. Okay, I do like that. That is pretty cool, isn't it? I think that looks pretty neato. It's kind of like got this simplistic coolness about it, I think. So what I'm going to do real quick is actually just plant that like so. But I'm going to be starting up some more Minecraft kind of puzzle-y maps and stuff like that, which should be pretty gosh darn fun. So definitely tune into that. We're going to be doing like some challenge maps and things like that. So I'm really, really excited to share that with you guys. And on top of that, allow you guys to laugh at me, because I'm sure you will. Because I'm definitely going to be making mistakes, and I am absolutely, without an issue, agree that you guys can go ahead and critique me and, whatever you guys like to do. So, let's see. It's kind of hard to imagine a place without walls, I know. But I think what we could do is we could lay some of the books down like this, right? I really want to do like a really cool library in terms of just a ton of books. Like I just want it to be aisles and aisles of books, just kind of like inspirational in that sense. I don't know what it is about libraries, but I find them to be really cool. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we should do like rows or aisles. It's so... That's the most difficult part, is like the creative decision making, where you got to decide, okay, do I do this or do I do that or do I do this? It's very, very difficult to actually kind of, pin down one pattern of thought, not thought, but one decision, It's really, really difficult to make that decision and make sure that most people at least enjoy it, or, Again, I never claimed that I'm a great Minecraft builder or anything like that. I genuinely just do this to interact with you guys, and just because I find that it's a fun, kind of relaxing video series that doesn't require as much, I don't want to say effort, because that makes it sound like a lazy series, but I think most people will understand what I mean by the fact that it's one of those things that is just kind of almost like a casual conversation with friends, where you could just literally, relax, pour yourself some coffee or whatever it may be, some sort of your favorite drink, and then just get to it. So I think this looks kind of cool, actually. So you'd walk in, and there's just this giant wall of books, a whole giant, enormous variety. And actually, speaking of which, I'd like you guys to comment in the comment section below what your favorite book series or book is. I know a lot of people are definitely going to obviously pick Harry Potter, which is nothing wrong with that. I know that a lot of people will choose that. I'm sure a lot of people will also choose something like Hunger Games, which I've been hearing is a very, very popular series of books. Look at that. There's a Creeper book, which I want to kind of read in real life. That would be awesome. But yeah, I'd really love to kind of hear from you guys what your favorite book series or overall favorite book is. Do you even read any books? I will be honest with you guys. I do not read any more books, like traditional textbooks. Sorry, not textbooks. Books with just words. I read comic books, which obviously aren't considered to be books by many, but I think they are. And I also listen to audiobooks. So instead of reading, I just listen to the books. Primarily, a lot of times, it's just because of not having the patience to just sit there and read something. But for example, if I'm working on something or working on a project for school or something like that, I could definitely be listening to a book at the same time, and I actually enjoy that. I find that process to be enjoyable, because I feel like I'm getting useful information. And my favorite types of books are actually autobiographies. I love to read about very successful people, because I love to kind of learn and understand how people who are more successful than others, how did they come about doing that? What was was there any special kind of tricks or tips or anything like that? And it's not any, I don't read any like get rich quick schemes, which a lot of people right away when I say that, they're like, oh, so you're into those books that like tell you to get rich quickly? No, nothing like that. More so just kind of books like, for example, when I was like 12, I read like Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and that's when I got addicted by Robert Kiyosaki. You can check it out. It's a pretty simple book, even for kids. You should be able to read it. I'm pretty certain, at least, that you should. I read it, of course, in my native language, but I'm pretty sure that in English it shouldn't be too complex to read or anything like that. So I would definitely give that a try if you're interested in these types of books. But at the same time, basically, it's just kind of, to me, it's always been inspirational to understand how does a successful person, they have got, like, I always feel like successful people are just like regular people, but they just in some way think differently than regular people, and that's kind of what makes them, just their approach towards whatever it may be, life or business or anything like that, is really what differentiates them and makes them stand out and makes them more successful. And honestly, reading to a lot of autobiographies and just listening to a lot of smart people talk, or successful people, not necessarily smart a lot of times, it just seems like that is true. It seems like that is really the true factor, that there's more just kind of an approach about how you think about things, and less about kind of your own resources or anything like that. Yes, definitely, if you come from a wealthy background and everything, it certainly is much easier to become successful, but if you've got the right drive and the right mindset about you, I think nearly everyone can become successful. And again, that doesn't mean that everybody has to become millionaires and billionaires, but I mean, to me, I think successful is just not having a ridiculous worry about bills. You know what I mean? Like, when the bills come in, you're not just like freaking out and you're like, oh, Jesus, how do I pay for this or how do I pay for that? And just having the ability to, you know, every now and then go out for a nice dinner if you wanted to. And that doesn't mean, again, every day going out and buying ribeye steaks for $150 or whatever it may be. Just every now and then, you know, go out and be able to afford it without just feeling like you just went bankrupt or something like that. So that being said, I think that this will be a good little first section for the library. I think we did a pretty gosh darn good job setting things up. We're going to get smarter and smarter in the city of Blitz Village because we're all studious and we're all smart, and that doesn't mean that you have to have high marks, again, because I think that that's a ridiculous thing to say, that high marks mean that you're smart. That's very, very stupid in my opinion, actually. And yeah, we're just going to have some books just for fun so people could come in, hang out, grab a cup of coffee, and just read some cool books in Blitz Village. So that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe, share the video with your family and friends, and of course, do not forget to tune in next time as we continue to assemble our library in Blitz Village. So yeah, it should be pretty gosh darn cool. If you have any suggestions, of course, leave them in the comment section below. I always take first of all, I read every single one of them, and of course I also take them into consideration in terms of applying them to the designs, because there have been several times where you guys have influenced how we build things, because I want this to be an interactive project in DDO. Alrighty guys, have a great day. It looks like nighttime is striking upon Blitz Village, so we're gonna take a little nap, and catch you guys next time with another episode of Blitz Village. Have a fan-fantastic day, and I'll see you later, guys.